Aloha, friends on Facebook. My name is Jonathan Sugai, and I'm streaming live from Honolulu, Hawaii, from my office, the Alignment Center for Body and Mind. And it's Aloha Friday, as we love to say in Hawaii. And I want to thank you for joining me either live or in the replay. And I want to acknowledge all of you who are out there. And for those of you who have tuned in live or on the replay, to acknowledge you for making conscious choices about making the best and finding the blessings in a challenging situation that we're all facing. And there's a song called "It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday." Well, in this case, this week, because of the stay-at-home order in Hawaii, I chose to suspend to honor the order and suspend my massage practice. So that definitely freed up a lot of time during the week. And out of that challenge, I chose to make the best of it and chose to take this opportunity to share some stretches with all of you live and online. And so one of the big blessings out of the challenge that we're all facing, is this, many people are being challenged to go, convert their part of their businesses online or do things online. So this is my way of doing it, and I'm really inspired and enthused to be able to share with all of you some stretches that I've been developing in the past few years as part of my massage practice. A little background about me, for those of you who don't know, I've been a massage therapist for almost 20 years now, and these stretches that I'm going to be sharing with you today, we're going to go through 6 stretches to help you to feel better in a matter of minutes. These stretches I use as part of my therapy and also homework for my clients. So I've been working on these stretches for the past few years because a few years ago when I was working, I was noticing my neck was getting really stiff and sore, and it was just so tense. And I thought, well, I could go, get massaged. I was working, with my family at the time. And I come from a family massage therapist. My dad, Steve, founded, Shiatsu Therapists of Hawaii. So I could, schedule an appointment with my dad, or there was my mom or my sister who were also massage therapists. But I thought, let's try something different. My intuition said, go explore stretching, which I did. So I started to go do some research. I started to play around with stretches, and I found a few that worked well. I tested them on myself. And then I began to test them on my clients, refine them over the years. And so for the past few years, I've narrowed it down to these 6 stretches that really make a difference for the first stretch we're going to be doing is our feet. We're going to stretch our feet. The second stretch we're going to be doing today is for our hamstring and our quads, for the front of our thighs. And this really helps the lower back. The third stretch we're going to be doing is the calf, back of the knee, and the hamstrings. This also helps your legs, your knees, and your back. The fourth stretch we're going to be doing today is for the glutes, for the piriformis. A lot of tension builds up here from sitting and or standing. The fifth stretch is going to be for our shoulders. We're actually going to be able to catch the trigger points way back here. And the last stretch is going to be an overall shoulder lifting stretch, which actually gets a lot of the tension inside the shoulder, that stuff we can't get to. It's actually underneath the shoulder blade. We're going to be able to free that up and help open up the posture. And working from the bottom up, I choose this sequence for me personally, and I use it in my practice because we want to make sure your legs, you're grounded in the lower body, and make sure we take care of everything we can down here, stabilize, get this working well. And then that actually helps with the upper body, because a lot of times the upper body symptoms, especially from the lower back up, tend to be influenced by any problems down below. So if we take care of the stuff down below, then we get much better results up top. So with that being said, let's begin. Now before we begin, I actually want to acknowledge Cindy. Hi, Cindy. And Pam. Hi, Pam. Thank you for joining. All right. So for the first stretch we're going to do our feet. Okay. And we're going to be using a tennis ball. Okay, we're going to be stretching the plantar fascia in our feet. All right. Now, why is this so important? Well, it turns out, let me show you this little diagram. We're gonna do some anatomy. The plantar fascia in our feet are connected through the connective tissue called fascia, all the way up through the calves, through the hamstrings, right through your hip, through the back muscles, even all the way up to your scalp. Okay? And so I used to do this as a demo where I would massage my foot and it would create a difference in the length of my shoulder. My arm would actually look longer and be longer. And I would do this as a demo whenever I would teach anatomy, and as part of doing some small massage trainings that I did for the University of Hawaii Medical School. But then I realized, that's actually a great stretch. And so this is one of the first stretches that I did, and then I did it many years before I even prescribed these to my clients. But now I realize it's actually a great stretch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to massage our foot. Now before we begin, for those of you with Apple Watches, if you want to fill your exercise ring, you can actually turn on the exercise app on the watch and do the workout setting, and you can there's a preset for yoga. So if you turn that on, you can get your exercise ring because this is like yoga. So there it is. All right, so we're gonna do this massage on the foot, this massage/stretch on the plantar fascia for 1 minute. Okay, so let's begin. Oh, before we begin, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me show you what my current flexibility is before we do the massage, before we do the plantar fascia foot stretch. Okay, so right now, pretty good actually, because I've been doing these stretches really consistently every day. So actually, if you look at my first video, it's a lot stiffer, but yeah, pretty easily palming the ground. Okay, but what you're gonna notice is there's gonna be more of a difference in my length between my arms. So if I just relax my arms right here, they're about the same length, okay? So after I do this, it's gonna change. Now this doesn't work for everybody. It does work. If it does work for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine too. But in my case, it usually produces a change. Okay, so let's start. Get my timer started. All right, so what you want to do is you want to step on the ball, and we're using a tennis ball. That's the preferred. And you're going to go back and forth. Back and forth. Okay, so you want to really lean into the ball and feel it squeeze. And that's why I like using the tennis ball, because it has a nice give to it. Whereas something harder like a golf ball or a baseball, a little too hard. Okay, this one has a nice give. Okay, now if this is your first time doing it, it's probably going to be a little sore, and that's okay. What we're doing is we want to find those pain points. We want to find those trigger points, because that's where your nervous system, your fascia, your muscles, it's holding on to tension. It's holding on to stress. And if you're holding on to stress, that means you're more stressed, and that can impact your immunity. So these stretches are going to, again, help you to de-stress, and anything you can do to help you regulate the stress in your body has positive effects for the immune system. Okay? All right, so that's 1 minute. Let's pause that. Okay, so let me show you my arm length. Okay, so you can see there's a difference. Yeah, in fact, actually my shoulder shifted too. Yeah, so if I just hang, yeah, there's a pretty significant difference. Again, yeah, a little easier. You can see this hand goes down a little easier. Okay? All right, and that's again because we use this chart from the anatomy training, so like Thomas Myers. We loosened up the fascia, and it loosened everything up. And so the shoulder shifted, okay? Now it takes some time to acknowledge people who just joined. Elizabeth, hi. Hi, Rick. Hi, Eileen. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for joining. Hi, Chris. Okay. So now let's do the other side. Okay, so we're going to do 1 minute. All right. We're going to go back and forth. Again, you're going to feel the trigger points. And when you feel them, allow yourself to feel it. Breathe, lean into it. You actually want to lean into the pain. Breathe into it, and breathe out. And again, we're bringing these stresses that have stored in different parts of your body conscious. Because again, when we experience stress, if we don't know how to deal with it, we tend to somatize it. Meaning soma means body, so we actually store it in different parts of our body. And again, that can impact, cause symptoms. It can affect our joints. It can affect our organs. It can affect our psychology. It affects, our adaptability. So we either get really stiff or we get really tense. Okay, so you want to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, and then again, we're going back and forth to the ball of your foot, to the to the front part of your heel. Okay, and every stretch we're going to be doing is about 1 minute per side. 1 minute is the sweet spot. Okay, so that's another minute. Okay, let's check on my arm length. Okay, so the arms are about the same length. Okay, as I lean down, I'm already feeling more flexible going down. So, yeah, pretty easily palm the floor. My legs are already feeling better because of the loosening effect in the plantar fascia. It has again, loosening effect towards the rest of the body through that back line, according to the Anatomy Trains model. All right, so that's stretch number 1. So now, stretch number 2. We're going to stretch the quads. Now, the quads are my favorite to do next because our quads work so hard for us. We use them daily. They're necessary for us to get out of bed, to stand up, to sit down, to go up and down stairs. They work tirelessly for us. Thousands of steps, thousands of miles over our lifetime. And so, if this is your first time, when was the last time you actually showed some love to your quads? For many, I joke around, it's probably been years, sometimes decades. And the quads actually have a big role in lower back pain, which is one of the most common problems I see in my practice. Now, why are the quads involved in back pain? Well, one of the reasons, some of the complaints that clients come in with when they throw their back out, their back is sore, their back is stiff, is that they have a hard time walking. They're having a hard time walking, meaning that it hurts when they walk, or if they try to walk fast, it hurts more. Quads are suspect. They have trouble getting out of bed. They have trouble just, getting up and out of bed. Turns out you actually need your quads nice and loose and regulated and working well. You have trouble standing up and sitting. Again, you need your quads. The quads are one of the largest muscles in your lower body. They have trouble going up and down stairs. They have knee pain as well. Okay? So, and when they come in and I check on them, I say, may I check your quads? Because this is one of the first things that I've learned in 20 years of working with backs. And they go, sure. As soon as I touch parts of their quads, they want to jump off the table, and I'm not using much pressure. So in the past, before I was doing stretching, they would have to endure it and breathe, and it would eventually calm down. But then when I started to do these stretches, I decided to see if I would find the pain point, then do the stretch, then check again, see if that made a difference. And lo and behold, it did. The pain would drop by at least 50% given the same amount of pressure. So you go from feeling like an ice pick to feeling just like pressure. Okay? So we're going to now do the quads. Now, the quads, it looks like this, and you've probably done this at some point in your life. But I prefer to actually do it lying on our side, okay? Because we don't want to strain the other leg, and we don't want to strain your shoulder. And we're going to take advantage of an inanimate object like my couch right here. Okay, so we're going to lay on our side. I'm going to pull the leg back. Okay, and then I'm going to set my timer. And okay, you're going to pull it back, and you're going to feel the stretch right there. Okay, so you can use a couch, or you can use your bed, and then you can lean up against the wall. So for the other side, I'll show how you can lean up against the wall. If you have carpet at home, you can just, pick a soft spot, open spot, go up next to the wall. If you need to put any padding against the wall, you can do that as well. But basically, instead of standing and pulling your leg back, you lay on your side and you lean up against something with your leg, with the either the back of the couch or the wall, holding your leg. Okay, and if this is your first time, yes, it's going to be quite painful. Also, if you find that you can't get it back that far, you need to give yourself more room. So I'll show that when we do the other way of doing it. Okay, a few more seconds. And again, while you're doing this, you want to breathe. And the other thing you can do is you can actually reach up in the opposite direction. And again, through the fascia, we'll stretch, add additional stretch. Okay, so that's the left leg using the back of the couch. Now let me drop this. Okay, and we're gonna stretch the right leg. So you can imagine this is a bed, or if I'm on the ground and you have carpet, or you can put a yoga mat down. Just scoot up to the wall, pull your leg back. Okay, and then if you're not as flexible, you just give yourself more room. As you increase in flexibility, you can get closer to the wall. Okay, and let's reset the timer. And then I'm going to reach upwards because then it adds additional stretch. And again, you want to take some deep breaths in. And really make sure you're letting the breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And all that pain, the trigger points, the tension in your body is where you, at some point in the past, didn't exhale. You're actually still holding your breath. Your body is still holding your breath in the form of trigger points and tension. And so this is actually the source of a lot of anxiety, stored tension in the body, stored pain, stored imbalanced perception. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, that's a minute. All right, felt really nice. Okay, so that's the quads. And again, this helps the lower back. So if you have back pain, do the quad stretch, see how your back feels. You'll notice, one of the other complaints is actually having trouble bending over. Guess what? You need your quads working, because if you're trying to bend over and your quads aren't working, your legs aren't working, your body's going to say, we ain't letting you lean over. We're keeping you from falling over. It's actually, the back symptoms are actually a feature, not a bug. It's trying to protect you from you. It actually knows what's going on more than you do. But it's trying to communicate through you through symptoms, which is the mind-body connection. Okay, so let's take a moment to say hello. Hi, Adamaris. Hi, Aline. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Janice. Welcome. Let's see who else. Hi, Maikai. Thank you for joining. All right. And if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I may not get to them while I'm stretching, but I will definitely check afterwards. And all the stretches that I'm doing, I have individual videos. So if you want to watch them individually, there's a link in my in the post, and I'll repeat that link in the chat. You can go check out the stretches individually, and also my past live streams as well. All right. So we're now going to move on to stretch number 3. Okay. And this time we're going to take care of the hamstring, the back of the knee, and the calf. So this will help with the tight calves. This will help with knee pain. So the knee pain that most often occurs is when you bend your knee. So either going down, going up and down stairs, trying to squat. A lot of the tension builds up in the back of the knee. So we actually have to stretch the back of the knee. And then also hamstring tightness. Okay. And again, we're going to be taking advantage of the connection, the back line connection according to the Anatomy Trains model. Okay, so we're going to further stretch this part more directly. We caught the foot using the plantar fasciitis stretch, and now we're going to directly stretch the rest of the leg. Okay, so let's go over here, And I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing it. So I have floor here. If you have carpet, then don't worry about your heel. But if you're on a floor, you want to make sure you protect your heel. So we do it the Hawaiian way, the rubber slipper way. You can use your rubber slipper as a heel protector. You want to have a blank wall. So if you don't have a free wall, you can use your door. Okay, usually we don't have stuff on the door. Okay, and so we're going to put our foot up against the wall like this. It's dorsiflexed. Okay, so foot up against the wall like that with the heel on the slipper. This knee is going to be locked, so as straight as possible. Okay, you're going to have a nice wide, deep stance. You want to square your hips towards the door. The back left foot, you'll be on the ball of your foot. This back knee is slightly bent. You're going to tilt your pelvis forward. As you tilt your pelvis forward and keeping this knee locked, you're going to feel the stretch. It's going to go right through here, the back of the calf, knee, and hamstring. Okay, so as you're leaning forward, and that's why you want to be on the ball of your back foot. Okay, so you can really lean forward, put your weight forward. Then we're going to put our hands up above our head, shoulder width apart. We're going to push and lean in. Okay, so that's going to add to the downward force to enhance the stretch. We're also going to stretch your shoulders a little bit too, because we're stretching the arms and lifting the scapula. Okay, and I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. Okay, so push and lean forward. Make sure the right knee is locked. Make sure the left knee is slightly bent. The left foot is you're on the ball of your foot. You're leaning forward, your weight is forward, and you're going to feel that stretch right through the hamstring, calf, and the back of the knee. We're stretching right through the back line, myofascial meridian back line, according to the Anatomy Trains model. Okay, you're going to feel that tension go right through, and you want to take some deep breaths in, deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. You're giving yourself a time to self-care and release the tension from those breaths you didn't exhale. Your body's still holding on to the exhale. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. And again, if this is your first time, it's probably going to be a pretty long minute, and that's okay. You've got to start somewhere. But the more you do it, you're going to feel your flexibility increase. It's going to feel better, and you're going to feel lighter. And again, this will help you, do the self-care, because right now we've been given a gift of time. So let's take advantage of the time to really take care of ourselves, focus on priority, do things that we didn't, make the time to do. Because again, we were putting other people's values and other people's priorities above our own. And that's one of the reasons why we get sick. If we're subordinating too much and we're forgetting about ourselves and we're trying to do too much and we get stressed, runs down the immune system and we have symptoms. And the symptoms are trying to get us to be authentic again. Okay, so let's see, let me show you the difference it makes. Okay, so again, I stretched out this right side. Again, you see a difference in my arm length. It makes my arm longer, okay? Improving that flexibility. All right, so now we're gonna, the other way you can do it is you wear shoes. So for people outside of Hawaii, tend to be wearing shoes indoors more often. And so you can just wear footwear, protective footwear. We're gonna do the left side. Okay, so you put your foot up against the wall, knee locked. This is where you can see the stance. Now watch out. I find a lot of clients try to do it with a narrow stance. You want to make sure it's nice and wide, okay? Narrow stance, narrow mind. Wide stance, wide open mind. Narrow stance, unstable, inflexible. Wide stance, flexible, stable, open, adaptable. Okay? Those who can adapt will thrive. Those who are inflexible and rigid, they're going to be in for a hard ride. Okay, so lock your knee on the left side, back leg, back foot. You're on the ball of your foot, back knee is bent. Okay, we're gonna lean forward, put our hands up, and let's begin. Okay, so push and lean in. Again, we're gonna feel that stress, feel the tension in the calf, back of the knee. And then you may notice you're feeling also the tension in your shoulders by pushing and leaning into the wall. And you can actually move your arms. You can kind of flap your wings, flap your shoulder blades. And it's kind of like giving yourself a little massage as you breathe in and breathe out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. Continue to breathe deeply in and deeply out. If you want to move your body, notice I'm moving my neck. You can actually move your neck around, and that also helps to release some tension out of the neck. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see if my arms are a little off. Let's see if we're back to balance again. Yep. Arms. Yep. Now palm the floor. All right. So I'd love to see, actually, if anybody would love to take pictures of their before and after, doing these stretches, that'd be pretty cool. I do have some of my before and afters. I'm doing a posture review. I'm gonna do another before and after because I've been doing. I took my posture a few weeks ago, so I'm gonna post the differences from doing these stretches very consistently, more consistently than I was before this situation. So would love to see some of yours. All right, I want to just acknowledge and say hello to Shelby. Hi Shelby, yes, Waimalu. Can you believe that? Gosh, Waimalu would be what, over 30 years ago. Wow. Hi Pam, thank you for joining. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go, that was the hamstring, back of the knee calf stretch. Okay, that was our third stretch. Now we're going to go back to the couch, and we are going to now stretch our okole, our glutes, the Gluteus Piriformis stretch. Okay, so this is a great stretch for relieving the tension out of our hips, out of our buttocks, or okole in Hawaiian. And there's two ways to do it. So the first way to do it is by sitting and crossing our legs. And Siri just said something to me. No Siri. Okay, so I have my AirPods on. Now you're going to cross your legs, and then you're going to lean forward. Okay, and as you lean forward, the stretch is occurring on my left side. You're going to feel it right in your cheek. Okay, I'm going to lean forward. Again, you want to breathe into it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And let me set my timer. There we go. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, earlier in the week I mentioned that the left hip was a little more restricted. So sometimes as you're doing these stretches, some old emotions may come up. If you really get present, sometimes it'll bring up old memories. And that's the mind-body connection. So I had the opportunity to do some other work on it. As a facilitator, I'm a DiMartini method facilitator, so I was able to work on it with a couple of my facilitator buddies, and we got to go clear some stuff, some stuff on my ex, some stuff on my wife, some stuff on old teachers, female teachers. The left side is the feminine side of the body, the right side is the masculine side. Anything that stores in the buttocks area is what we perceive to be a pain in the butt. So I was able to go clear some stuff there, some old baggage. Now, we're going to now switch over to the right side. Okay? So again, you're going to cross your leg. And we'll begin the timer, and then you're going to lean in. Lean forward. Okay? And then as you lean forward, you'll feel that. So my hips are feeling more even compared to earlier in the week. Definitely after this, I have my session with my buddy Shelby in Toronto, and we're gonna go explore, find more wisdom in my experiences with the feminine or females. So if you do other healing modalities, the DiMartini method is one. Whatever else you want to do, this is a great way to go get present, and you actually are able to connect with your subconscious and find the unconscious emotional charges, emotional baggage, stuff that you're not dealing with. And when it becomes conscious, the symptoms actually tend to ease up. Because again, you're bringing it conscious. Okay. All right. And so now that's the right side. So that's one way of doing it. Now let me show you the other way of doing it. Okay, you can do it lying down. Again, you're going to cross your leg, pull towards you. Okay, so you're going to be pulling with your legs and pulling towards you like this. Okay, and so you can do both. See which one you like better. Now I notice when I'm doing it this way, I can pull farther. So again, I'm going to go explore something to do with, again, bending, bowing down to authority. And this is how you can do it on this side. Again, cross your legs, pull. Yeah, actually have a little better range on this side as well. Okay? And again, you want to do these stretches 1 minute per side at least. That's the sweet spot. And you can do them up to 90 seconds or up to 2 minutes if you like. Okay, so that is our fourth stretch, the glute and piriformis stretch. And again, you can do it sitting or lying down. Okay, so let me take a moment to say hello. Hi, Justin. I hope you're doing your stretches, or if not, this is your reminder too. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jim. Thank you for joining. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the fifth stretch. So we're now done with the lower body. We're going to move on to the upper body. So the fifth stretch, I call this the tricep shoulder stretch. Okay, so we're going to be stretching our tricep. We're going to be stretching our supraspinatus and infraspinatus, or the rotator cuff, which also includes the teres and the lats. Okay, so we'll do the left side first. You're going to bend your elbow, and we're going to pull in the opposite direction. We're going to make sure you spread your legs and have a nice wide stance so you're stable. Pull and lean. Okay, you're going to pull and lean, keeping your elbow bent. And let me reset my timer. Okay. Again, bend the elbow, pull with the opposite side, and lean with a nice wide and deep stance. Okay, and then you want to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. So for this one, you're going to feel the stretch go down the tricep. You're going to feel it go past your armpit, right through the shoulder. You're going to feel it propagate down the left side of your body, down the rib cage, all the way down to the hip. Because again, this is pulling through the muscles and pull through the fascia. In the Anatomy Trains model, it's the lateral line. And we're also catching part of the arm lines as well. And you might feel some tingling because the nerves that go into your hand run right through these areas, and that's okay. You may tingle, Might feel some shooting pain, and that's fine. Okay, and then when you come out of it, you want to ease out of it because it may be a little sore, a little achy, but that's okay. And what you do is you kind of do the Taylor Swift. Shake it off, shake it off. Okay, now we're going to do the right side. Okay, so bend your elbow, pull, we're going to lean. Okay, breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Oh, I need to set my timer. Okay, now this, for those of you who have had massages and that near the, you find all the trigger points in that area right behind the shoulder blades, or you do your own self-massage, these stretches are great to do before you do that. Or what you can do is, or what I do in my practice when people visit me, I find the trigger points and then we go stretch it out. Then you can really feel the difference after you stretch it. I joke around that I make the stretches, the benefit of the stretches, painfully clear. Because again, we do a proper stretch in the area, we can reduce the pain by at least 50%, the pain intensity. So I can tell which of my clients are doing their stretches. I hold them accountable. I'm like their body dentist. Okay, we're going to ease out of that. And then again, lower your arms slowly because again, it's going to feel a little achy, and that's fine. Again, we're bringing up all that tension from, putting our arms out, and, we're on our computers a lot more now because of what's happening, or because of when we're on our phones or driving, whatever else we use our arms for. Okay, and then kind of shake it off. Okay, so that's the fifth stretch, the tricep shoulder stretch. Now we're going to do our last stretch for today, and we're going to go back over to the wall, and this one is called the shoulder scapula lift stretch, and I'll explain why in a moment. Hi Linda, thank you for joining us. How are your stretches coming along? I'd love to hear about it. Okay, so this last stretch, we're going to use a wall. You're going to put your hands up on the wall, about your face height, around right where your eyes meet the wall. And you want to stand about arm's length back from the wall, and then maybe a couple of steps past that. You're going to push and lean in, and you're going to lean forward, and by anchoring your hands in the wall, it's going to stretch your arms, stretch your shoulders, and this looks like downward dog. Although I heard from one of my wife's friends that this looked like I was ready for something. So instead of downward dog, looks like doggy style. Okay, so we're going to do this for 1 minute. You're going to push and lean in. Okay. And again, you're going to feel your arms stretch. And then you're going to feel your shoulders and scapula lift upwards. It's actually pulling upwards. And it's actually releasing all the tension that's underneath the shoulder blade. Underneath the shoulder blade. Your knees are going to be slightly bent, hip width apart, like so. Okay, and make sure you breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. All right, I'm going to ease out of that. Okay, so I really like this stretch because it stretches the arms and it's actually lifting the scapula. So right behind the scapula is what's called subscapularis, and there's a lot of fascia, connective tissue, and a lot of tension stores under there. So it's actually underneath the shoulder blade. We can't get to it. You can get to all the stuff on the outside. So this is a way of lifting that up and catching all the stuff that's in here. So when you're doing it, you're going to feel the tension in there. Okay, so let me show you from another angle what it looks like from behind. Okay, you can see why my wife's friend saw it the way she did. So we might know what's on her mind. Okay, push and lean in. And you're going to push and lean in and let your arms stretch and your body hang. And again, you want to make sure you have your nice wide stance, so maybe a little wider than your hip length, knees slightly bent. And again, you breathe into it. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, let's ease out of that. All right, so that was our last stretch, the sixth stretch. So let's review. Okay, so to review, today we covered 6 stretches. The first stretch was for our feet. Again, you did that for 1 minute. You use a tennis ball, roll back and forth, really lean into it, back and forth. 1 minute per side, and this stretches your plantar fascia in your foot. Again, this helps the fascia in the foot, and that has a loosening effect on the rest of the body, as you saw earlier. Made a difference in my arm and shoulder length. Then the next stretch was the quads. Excuse me, I was getting ahead of myself. We stretch the quads, which loosens up the quads, which helps the back, because this is one of the biggest muscles in your legs, and if it's not holding up your body properly, your back is going to seize up and try to slow you down. So slow down your walking, trying to protect you from you. And again, you lay on your side, pulling your leg back like this. Okay, you can reach to add additional stretch. Okay, 1 minute per side there. And again, lay on your side, 1 minute per side there. Okay, and again, if you're not as flexible, give yourself extra room and start there. All right. Then we're going to review the hamstring stretch, hamstring calf and back of the knee stretch. Put your foot up against the wall. And then just make sure you have some protection. So if you're on carpet, okay. If you're not, rubber slipper is a great heel protector. And again, this is what it looks like. You can watch it on the replay if you're tuning in later. I also, again, have these stretches individually on my website or in my YouTube channel. Okay, and this is what it looks like from this angle. All right, and then we go back to we're going to stretch our piriformis and glute. You can do it sitting by crossing your legs. And again, leaning forward. 1 minute per side. Cross your legs, leaning forward. 1 minute per side. The other way you can do it is you lay on your back, cross your leg, pull your legs, and pull with your arms for that extra oomph. And again, cross your leg, pull with your legs, pull with your arms at the same time. And you keep pulling. And again, remember to breathe deeply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Because again, we're surfacing the tension that's stored in your body. This is electrical charge. This is electrical tension. If you get really present, you might start to become aware of some emotions that you've stuffed away. And it might even bring up some old memories too. And then if you have other healing modalities, you can go use that as content. I know I do. Okay, so that's the hips. Now we're going to go do the upper body, review the upper body. Again, the tricep shoulder stretch. This clears up a lot of the trigger points back here and loosens up the arm. Bend your arm, bend your elbow, pull and lean. Feel the stretch go down this side. Okay, bend your arm and elbow, pull to the opposite side. Again, you're going to feel the stretch propagate all the way down. Okay, make sure you have a nice wide stance. And again, 1 minute per side. And then the last stretch, again, we'll go back here. And again, you put your hands up against the wall, push and lean in, and let your body hang. It's like you're hanging off the wall. Okay, and you do that for 1 minute. So this all adds up to about, if you do them 1 minute each, it's about 11 minutes of your time. So if you can do this at least once a day, you're going to get good results. Do it twice a day, you'll get great results. Do it 3 times a day, you get awesome results. So again, take it at your pace. Again, if this is your first time, it will be a little sore at the beginning. Those are going to be long minutes. But again, like, as with anything, you just practice. If you can master practicing daily, build some momentum, then you can step it up, get more results, and you'll find that you're going to feel more flexible, more at ease. You'll be able to handle more stress. And again, this is a perfect time. We've been given a lot of time, the gift of time, to take care of ourselves. This is a time for self-care, a time to refocus and really reevaluate things, because again, lots has changed. Lots of things have changed. We're actually entering, this is sort of like the birth of a new world in a way. Old paradigms are breaking down, new paradigms are kicking in. And so that's why I'm doing this online. Still being able to be of service in a different form. Because I've again chosen to honor the stay-at-home mandate, and but fortunately I created these stretches as another way to help my clients, and actually this translates well to video, so I'm able to actually still be of service, and again gives me an opportunity to practice being online. So make sure you take care of yourselves, make sure you're getting enough rest, make sure you're drinking lots of water, eating moderately, eating good nutritious food, that look up foods that boost your immune system. You actually can do a lot for your immunity. Too much to go into now, but go look it up. If you have any questions, I can make suggestions. You can message me in the chat or directly. Make sure you're focusing on priority. If you don't know what priority is, I highly recommend you do the DeMartini values determination process. You can do it at drdemartini.com. Determine your values so you can know what to focus on. And remember to practice gratitude. Not just be grateful, but actually identify what you're grateful for and why you're grateful for it. You answer those questions, again, that brings calm to the mind, centers you. It helps you manage your stress, which again helps you with your immunity. The more that you're not taking care of yourself and you're not managing your stress, it impacts your immunity. And so we can have 2 individuals who catch the virus. The one who's really taking care of themselves either has no symptoms or mild symptoms. The other one who isn't taking care of themselves, and many of the fatalities or the acute, the ones who have come down with acute symptoms, they already had pre-existing conditions like heart disease, hypertension, diabetes. Those are all lifestyle diseases. Again, years of not taking care of themselves. So again, the message is make sure you take care of yourself. Okay? So be safe, take care of yourself. I will be doing these stretches daily. So again, thank you for those of you who are continuing to tune in. Thank you for the new people who have chosen to make some time to be with me. You can see past stretches on my timeline or in my YouTube channel. So please check those out. If you want to be notified of when I do these stretches, make sure you turn on the notification. There's that 3 dots in the corner of the post. If you're not sure, I have links on how to find them. Okay, so it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to share. Thank you. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Aloha.